Hi, my name is Sergio Chitiva. I'm going to tell you what's the role of psychology in Colombia in terms of peace building, and I'm going to tell you the role of psychology here in Colombia in terms of peace building is building culture of peace with the people of the Colombian context, and it's possible understanding culture of peace like the concept shown by UNESCO, mm, like all the values, attitudes, and behaviors that reflect and inspire social interaction and thrive based on the principles that reject the violence, for those solving problems through the dialogue and negotiation. For doing the above, the psychologists must create new concepts about how to live fairly, how to resolve the conflicts, retaliation, forgiveness, etc. According to the prior idea, for doing this, they have to take the preliminary concepts of those populations about conflict and working over this. In Colombia, doing culture for peace is a challenge because the murders, social leaders is something that with the time has become something normal. Every day it happens. The most popular case currently is the murder of Jorge Solano, a social leader who lived in Ocaña, and he was doing some tasks for improving his community. But it was not important for his murder because the murderer, El Burro, had interests and values very different about his community because he was a hitman or a hired murderer, hired from people of Antioquia who are acknowledged until now. The victim, Luis Solano, was calling to the authorities for being protected, the government and the community. But he was other cipher, other important piece for building culture of peace lost. It was a fact because people with different values about the community and different ideas about aggression did the murder. Now, seeing the context and the roles of the agents, that is possible understanding the aggressive mind of the murderer in this case, and thus seeing what important is building culture of peace in Colombia. It's possible understanding the murder behavior across the theoretical concept of the aggression. Yes, first, it's possible to establish that it was an aggression because, according to the concept of aggression, it was a behavior with the intention of harming the victim, in this case Jorge Solano, and clearly he didn't want that aggression. For understanding this behavior is necessary using the kinds of aggression because this allows seeing mirror the behavior and its relation with the context. Yes, first, it was an instrumental aggression because the interest of the hitman was making money and gains with the murder. Second, it was a direct aggression. It was a direct because the aggression was the direct and observable linear consequence of the behavior of the hitman. Third, it was active because the burro had an active harmful behavior with the victim in the moment. Yes. Fourth, it was an overt aggression because it was done in the street, in the midday, in the victim's door. Fifth, it was an illegitimate aggression because it was done without the permission of the law. Sixth, it was a personological aggression because the aggressor had the interest in doing this aggression because his cognitions and values around the life and how to do money were the trigger for doing the murder. Now, taking the prior concepts explained and approaching them to the light of the theoretical frame, the culture of peace, the behavior and the intentions of El Burro are very dissonant in the concept of cultures of peace because they are inspired by ideas very different to the values of justice, democracy, and concepts like human rights. Taking in account this is very important because everyone in the community conformed the culture of peace, since the policeman until the possible person who could be a hitman. Therefore, taking this like example is possible seeing the role of the psychologists in terms of peace building, because they have to do peace building through the transformation of concepts submerged in the economic context. And it can be viewed in cognition like killing is useful for making money, or with this aggression I can reach purpose. Yes? These kinds of cognition allow to generate instrumental aggressions, illegitimate aggressions, personological aggressions. Mm? And finally, the clearest goal of psychologists doing peace building in Colombia is changing the talks about aggression like a mean for make money, resolve conflicts, etc. Yes? When the prior step, changing some talks about the aggression, can be possible, also the creation of culture of peace could be possible.